Said no man
And
ever.
it's best to, keep the shitty failed intros in, and then just still hearing the clap, just let the people know that we're fuck ups,
I mean, as much as we talk about the clap, let's be
Wait,
realistic.
we do?
I got the clap. I got the clap too.
Somebody get the clap. Somebody get it.
God damn. Alrighty, that's an intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tardy to the Party, where three nerds gather around and talk about the holy trinity of pop culture: DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. I'm your boy Jsibs, and to my left, as always,
Your other boy, Kevin Crunch.
and to
And
my
the third boy.
right,
I'm making the Jsibs sandwich. Double.
wouldn't want it any other way. We got a pretty loaded episode today as far as reviews go. I don't think we got too much news. Really real quick here, just the people that care. Walter Hamada, love him, hate him. He's going over to Paramount. He's leading their horror division. That's it. That's the news on that one. I don't really care to say much more on that unless you guys do. I mean, he's known for doing horror. I'm sure it'll work out great.
Isn't he known for doing
Dude,
horror?
Paramount's doing some big things, though.
Paramount's actually doing really well right now.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like they're putting things together in a way that's it's actually exciting instead of just watching it for South Park. Instead of just
Well,
I mean that's
Oh, Paramount Plus.
oh well, I
Streaming,
mean just in
okay.
general, Paramount.
I was going to say, I was like, wait, I have HBO Max is where South Park is, but then I forgot.
Yeah, for the
You
for
got to
the
have
COVID
these
special.
other...
you got to remember that Matt and Trey fleeced everybody with those streaming deals and
And then
exclusivity rights.
hilariously made a special
Streaming
about
rights.
how they did it,
Yeah.
and it's quite funny.
Yeah,
They're the greatest.
I mean, why not?
But yeah, in all seriousness, Hamada's probably going to do great over there. He honestly, as much hate as he gets, he really didn't have that much power at DC.
What was he
was basically a
doing?
part of a board. Like, everybody acts
Oh.
like he was like the head of DC, but he never really was. He was part of a board. Like, James Gunn and Peter Safran actually have control now. So it'll be way different going forward. But figured I'd just mention that. And then other than that, James Gunn kind of teased Green Lantern on Twitter. He replied to somebody. Oh, so he posted a Thanksgiving post of like a DC comic panel where it's a bunch of heroes like eating Thanksgiving dinner, and somebody pointed out that Green Lantern wasn't in the picture. So hashtag confirmed, Green Lantern's not going to be in the DCU. And basically James Gunn replied to it saying like bad scoop, or something, like basically just shooting it down. So basically just saying like, nah, he'll be there eventually.
like a freezing cold take.
Yep. So
the guy himself just, nope, you're wrong. I'm just not going to give too much away right now.
I wish we had more of that in this world.
Oh yeah, and then I guess elephant in the room. Yeah, this is we're basically jam packing 2 episodes into one. Had to take a week off, but so we got a loaded roster right here today. So granted, I'm gonna be a little foggy on the Wakanda Forever because it's been like 2 weeks. Hopefully, as we talk about it, it'll start flushing back in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for DC. As far what you got for Marvel? Just figured I want to slide that in just because.
Just really a couple confirmations on Captain America 4. Apparently, De La Fontaine and Ross, I think, are supposed to be, I guess, like, sort of the big bads. Like, I think they're just going more with this whole, it's like, it almost makes me wonder if it's going to be like Winter Soldier again, where it's like American government kind of doing questionable shit, so then the superheroes got to step in and, like, fix it. But it's basically been all confirmed now that Ross is the president in the movie, and he's actually going to have the Red Hulk powers. Part of me wonders if
That's sweet.
So you know how in She-Hulk, like, the guy took her blood?
Yeah.
And then in the next episode, they did the whole joke of, like, Hulk King takes it, turns into a Hulk, but then she breaks the fourth wall, cuts it all.
Does a little ha ha ha. This whole season you've been watching has been for nothing. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
It was kind of dope.
I mean,
calm down.
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not.
But it makes me wonder if, like, the syringe then gets rewritten into, like, it was really General Ross who wanted it the whole time, and now he's finally been able to get his hands on essentially the formula to, be a Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty typical comic flow. There's always a bigger bad.
There's always a
Wait.
bigger fish.
Yeah, bigger fish.
Star Wars taught me that.
That's fair.
That is true.
There's always a Palpatine.
There's a
Palpatine has returned.
Dead or not, he's coming back.
somehow Thunderbolt Ross has returned. Other things too. Big thing on, I guess, really with Thunderbolts is that they're gonna fight the Sentry.
Oh, I did hear about that.
And it's heavily rumored that Ryan Gosling is gonna get the
Gosling.
part.
Love
And
that.
at first, people were thinking that he was going to maybe be, who's the other, like, Superman of Marvel? Not Sentry, but there's another one.
Yeah, there is another one.
There's
Because I did.
because at first people thought it was. At first, people thought it was going to be that character, but then they, I think, later found out through some leaks and stuff that it's pretty much I think he's going to be Sentry, but I can't remember the other. But it's another, like super powered individual that's almost indestructible. I just can't. For the
It's
life
kind of like
me,
an odd name, I feel like.
It is, and that's probably why I can't remember it. And I feel horrible because what's sad is I had it.
Start with an M or a B?
I think
It's an
so.
M.
How many characters like that are we gonna have in these? like,
I mean, hey, we're at the point now where we're gonna start doing some real deep dives into some characters here.
Well, yeah, because now they gotta.
I mean,
said
they're getting to the point with Marvel where they're scratching some people that would be like, if they were going that deep in DC, like even I would probably I would know them, but like
yeah, you'd have to really get.
I would have to probably
backstory.
refresh myself on them at least. Like I've probably seen them pop up somewhere, but
No better way to bring back comics, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's.
I mean,
that's
Well, and Marvel.
I'm just waiting for the
Marvel
Calendar
has
Man
to
movie.
go
James
in-
Gunn, where's the Calendar Man movie?
Marvel has to go in this direction anyway because they've already used like all their big household names.
I mean, he gave us Polka Dot Man.
what?
That was sick.
was-
The Suicide Squad, Polka Dot Man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a deep cut right there.
That's true. That's true. It's like
That
the
dude's
way-
worthless.
Like the
And you made him cool.
like the fucking C and D movie act, fucking villains.
I love it.
Awesome.
Oh man. I'm just trying to get it real quick.
Thunderbolts.
It was the character that they thought Cavill was gonna play. Because Cavill wasn't for Sentry,
Oh,
but he was for a different one.
Oh, the fan art type thing. Is that the fan art that came out that we were kind of hot for a couple weeks ago?
I think so, but shit.
Let me see this.
'Cause
Let
who
me get
was
in the
it-
search game here. Everybody just yell at us in the comments who it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it Hyperion that you were talking about?
See, it's not so Hyperion is who Cavill was rumored to
So
Okay,
okay,
that's what I heard
but
you
that's
say.
actually who I'm talking about. Is I think at first people thought Gosling was going to be Hyperion, and then but then that doesn't really make sense with Thunderbolts. So then now it's like confirmed that it's probably going to be the Sentry.
Sentry.
See, I heard some other name thrown out there, but it was like weird. It wasn't Hyperion. I can't.
But
Oh, anyway.
yeah, going on, moving forward. So interestingly enough, Amazon
Okay.
Prime ordered a bunch of Sony Marvel property shows to create, and they actually announced Silk as the first one. And then also, it's kind of being rumored that Spider-Man Freshman Year might be axed already after they've made the first season. So I wonder more, is it really axed and they might just move it over to Amazon because Amazon ordered all this shit
Maybe
from Sony and Marvel?
Yeah, maybe
or...
maxed in their current platform, or like or X maxed
Right.
in their current platform.
Yeah, like part of me wonders that, or maybe the Spider-Man Freshman Year thing is just supposed to be like a one standalone season.
Dude, I'm seeing a lot of movement there. Like last night, I turned on Hulu. Andor episodes are starting to pop up on Hulu.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. I see a lot of movement.
I wonder
lately.
if that's, well, I wonder something. I got some more, a couple, just real quick, some more things before going into that. Sorry. Blade got its new director. I don't really know the guy, but Jan. I know, man. our buddy. Demange. Have you ever heard of him, Jordan? You usually know like directors and stuff. I know few.
I'd have to look
very
into
little.
him. I haven't heard of him personally,
Okay.
but
All right, and then two of the OGs. Chris Hemsworth with his Alzheimer's scare. He's technically
that
got
was really sad.
Yeah, that is
he's
tough.
got the genes for it, so that's kind of tough. So now he's kind of taking the hiatus from acting, and with that, he's basically been saying that if he's gonna come back as Thor, he wants it in a different tone.
Don't we all?
So probably is just upset
Kinda.
that they did make Love and Thunder. I don't know. It's like
Kinda.
Kinda.
He said, "Don't we all?" Kinda.
Kinda. Maybe just one tone.
Yeah.
A singular tone.
And then the last little bit of news here is kind of for you, Jsib. So RDJ is apparently all bald now, and people are like, "Well, he looks like he could be a good Lex Luthor."
Dude,
thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, man.
He probably would be a good Lex Luthor.
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse, but fuck if we're getting Robert Downey Jr. as
He would
Luthor.
be much
Dude,
better than
he looks-
Eisenberg.
he looks
I
so
think-
good.
dude. He's gonna embarrass anybody at their own role almost all the time.
Yeah.
Almost all the time.
Yeah.
I'd be totally down for that. Obviously, that'd be kick ass.
I hope
It'd
he
be cool to
does
see
it.
him in a villain role.
That's kind of actually what I thought too. I was like,
Like-
well, he already knows how to play the like rich billionaire with Tony Stark. It's just the flip side. Now he's just a
He gets to be
the
full blown
asshole's
prick.
still there,
he,
too,
just,
yeah.
he just gets to be full blown prick.
yeah, full blown instead of like half-assed. You know, like instead of being a prick that cares about people, he'll just be a prick that only cares about himself. Pretty
easy
sure
transition.
that's just pretty
It's
much
an
the
easy
transition there between the
Hell
characters.
yeah.
Now I'm doubting it. Maybe it's not enough of a
Yeah.
change for him. Maybe it'll just be too easy. Not challenging enough.
But going back, so Andor episodes on Hulu. So I know that a lot of rumblings with Andor is some people are like, I just don't understand why people aren't liking the show, or why it's got so low viewership. So I wonder if the low views is why they put them on Hulu. So then
Yeah.
it'll just
Saturate the market.
Well, they didn't put all the
it's just so
episodes
it's
on
like
there,
they
right?
can throw it out there, so then people can be like, "Oh yeah, that's out. I should go watch it." Because I bet anything, most people just have a Disney Plus package at this point. If you're gonna go with Hulu,
Well, right.
So-
That, and also, I mean, when you go on Disney Plus, typically you're ready for some Disney product. Andor doesn't feel like Disney product.
no,
No, it feels like HBO.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, why not change it to a different platform where you might have a more mature viewer that's going to watch it and not have that traditionalist aspect like we talked about another reaction channel.
Did they put did they put the whole series up there, or just a few episodes up there?
A few they released the first
See,
few.
that's why. I mean, they own both properties. You might as well spread it out.
So.
But what they're basically doing is on Hulu at least, they're basically getting people into Andor potentially, giving them a few episodes. Like, oh, you want to see the rest?
This is
Come
some-
over
this
here
is
to
some
Disney Plus.
good shit. So yeah, this
So-
is good shit.
got that good shit, man.
It is good shit, Jeff. It is good shit.
It is. I'm not disclaiming that.
Well, back to this weird streaming stuff. What that Silk announcement?
Oh, the Amazon.
I was
stuff,
blown away by that they. I was like,
I
a
thought
Silk
it was-
series, okay, live
Well,
action too, okay.
let's get
The
busy.
part that got me was I was like, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's the part that
I
got
was
me
like,
too.
I was like, what?
I was kind of like, oh,
That
it's probably
interesting.
It's probably got something to do with Sony just not wanting Disney putting it directly on their streaming service. I don't know.
I just found that pretty odd.
because obviously Sony doesn't really have their own,
No,
so maybe they get more kickback money from Amazon.
Oh, I mean, if you're Amazon,
I would
why
assume
not,
that's
why not
what
make
it
it?
is.
Why
Has
not
to
make
be.
it more favorable for them? That'd be the smart thing to do. Make it favorable for them. Make it easy for them, and still you're gonna clean house.
Mhm.
I mean, Amazon just does nothing but make money. So
But I'm intrigued
Well,
about that
for the
show.
most part.
usually, I mean, their stock was not that great this year, but
Well, right, belief in the system and making the money. It's like they're making money hand over fist through one venture or another. Can't stop, won't stop.
So, is that all the Marvel news?
Yeah, that's all I've got.
You got anything for Star Wars, Jeff?
News-wise, the only thing that I have is they don't know what movie for Star Wars is going to come next. They don't know if it's going to be Lindelof's movie or what TD's movie.
Oh, he still has those?
I don't know.
Apparently.
I don't know if he's gonna get that movie.
Okay, so apparently they're treating this like an audition.
I've heard that he might not. I've heard the same.
Yeah, they're treating if they like the script good enough, or well enough, then they'll give it a shot because they think construction's going to start sometime in April or May. So they don't know if it's going to be Lindelof's movie first or if they're going to try to entertain Waititi's, which I don't know why they would at this point, but
They have no fucking idea what they're doing over there
Well, the good news
at all.
Actually,
Not right
hey,
now.
Oh wait, yeah, the biggest news.
there is good news with Star Wars. She's finally gone.
Oh well, that's because the big news actually is Big Papa Iger's back.
Right.
Papa.
Who's like, hey, Kennedy, get the fuck out of here.
That's huge for Disney.
That's very big for Disney.
Dude, I can't believe what they I guess Chapek was at a Elton John concert and was supposed to introduce him when he found out that he was getting let go. So he just left.
Damn.
Dude, what a savage.
Just salt.
Disney is savage.
Yeah, Disney's like, yeah, before he gets up there, how about you just drop this shit right in his pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, lock him out of his email, shut him out. Get him.
Intellectual
That's
property.
savage.
Mine.
I mean, hey,
Man, that's
business is business.
I mean, yeah, no matter how harsh that shit is.
I guess. But
yeah.
that was, to me, the big... I saw that the other day, and I was like, oh, well, she, helmed that shitty sequel trilogy, so that's probably...
Is she actually? Did she actually get let go, or are they just letting her go after her contract's over? Or her...
I think she's... I thought I saw it that she chose to leave.
Yeah, she had the option. I think that she kind of stepped down.
Her
It was
contract doesn't have much longer on it. I think.
Right.
It's
Okay, I
gonna
knew
be
I knew it was coming up, but I figured they
think
were
it's
just
in
weren't
the
going to
next
renew
year.
it.
I don't think it was amicable, but I think it was as amicable as it could possibly be, considering the shit that she put out there.
Right.
I mean,
Yes and no.
No, fuck her, dude. She literally.
She's put out some
Hey,
bad,
no.
but we got to give her credit for the good.
Well, the
what, Force Awakens?
Okay.
Andor,
Well, okay. I mean,
No.
Mando.
but I'm not.
But
I'm not going to
that's
solely put that
also-
on her shoulders either. I mean, I won't put the whole series solely on her shoulders, just like I wouldn't the good stuff, with any of them, because obviously it's such a strung out establishment that there's so many people's hands in the pot.
Oh, and she did Kenobi. You like Kenobi. I hate it, but you like Kenobi.
Take the good with the bad.
She did all of this after a failed trilogy because she couldn't get her head out of her ass just to give the trilogy to the guy that they already knew they had in Filoni, and she let two other idiots
Dipshits.
try to write a trilogy. Didn't work because it was all over the place.
See, that's the problem.
And then she came back with all the good stuff once she gave Favreau and Filoni all the creative direction again.
The problem with the latest trilogy
So,
Give 'em the
is they
reins and
never
good things happen.
had a plan ever. It was just like, hey, JJ, write us a Star Wars movie. And then after it was over, it's like, oh, Ryan Johnson, come on and just take it. They never had a plan. They were just. It was such an old school way of making a movie trilogy. Like they had no mapped out plan. They were just going basically movie by movie, just going. They were just trying to. Oh, we bought it. Oh shit, we spent a bunch of money. We gotta get that money back. Which, granted, that's another thing you got to give her credit for. Those movies still made billions.
They're
So
always
it's like
going
whether
to.
what do you
They're
think of it?
always
Like
going
they're kind of always going to.
They're
because it's
always
Star Wars.
Okay, so what they did is they went into this.
Solo didn't.
They went into this whole.
Oh, that's true.
Well, there's a lot of debate on that, but
That's true.
we can touch on that.
Oh, I
here
heard.
shortly.
I heard that director said he wants to get a sequel to Solo. I don't think he's gonna get that.
I don't think he should do that just because
it would
you could use Solo's young character in another
movie.
or show or whatever. You can
Okay.
use that, but
Yeah.
don't feature him. Don't feature him because Ford is fucking Han Solo, not what's his nuts.
I mean, I
Oh,
think
I
that
didn't think he did that bad of a.
No, he didn't.
But-
But it's still not who he is to us.
to Jeff's point though, also like we had just saw Harrison Ford play Han Solo, like within I can't remember how much it came out before Solo,
I
but
think it was the
like
year before,
like a
wasn't it?
year or
Yes.
something like
Year
that. Like
before.
Yeah.
so, we literally just saw him. Granted, he got
But he died.
murked, but
Well, right, but still, that's
he was
who
just
is
he
to
was
us,
still
though.
there. Like I feel like that was kind of the disconnect. It was like we literally just saw him. Like why not just do an older Solo movie with him before he got murked or something?
Well, let's
like,
just put it this way.
like I get why they went for it, but I feel like as a fan base, it was just kind of a weird disconnect of seeing our Han Solo not so long ago, and then all of a sudden we're going to this new guy who's Solo.
I don't know. Solo canonized completely Clone Wars and Rebels, so I don't care.
Well, yeah, to an extent. It's more like
With
this.
the
It's
Maul
like,
appearance at the end.
it's like recasting young characters. Unless you go into their childhood, it's going to be fucking incredibly difficult to do. Just because you can't capture the exact same character and nuances
True.
with a 20-year-old Solo instead of, like just with Leia and her the kid Leia. You got a little subtle nuances, but it's a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be incredibly difficult to do anything Solo related with a new person at the helm. I mean, it's just Harrison Ford. That's who it is. That's who everybody sees. So now when it's somebody else that comes trudging out, oh, this is Han Solo now. No, it's not.
I'll take
No,
some more.
Wrong.
I'll take some more
Rabble.
Gambino Lando though.
Mhm.
I'll take some more Gambino Lando though.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I did like that. But then again, his character, perfect example. His character is a well-known character, a well-liked character, but he's not the most prominent character. He's not one of like the
No, he's not part of the main gang.
yeah. He's not part of the main crew, right? He actually is, but they
Right.
don't canonize it.
Yeah.
He's actually helps a lot more than they show in the movies.
Right.
Yeah, I guess since we're already in Star Wars, let's just talk about this studio Ghibli. Yeah.
Oh, like the fucking minute and a half long.
I was
dance in the field?
so
I don't really know.
So-
I don't know what I watched. I just know that 3 minutes of my time went by.
Wasted.
I'm so
I don't-
disappointed in that.
I
I got
don't
my
know.
hype built so much for this, and then
I didn't know what it was really. I don't know what the hell that was.
It was fucking Grogu chasing dust bunnies with no ground, no background.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's
else.
Just kind of.
to its credit,
Was it just
the one
a
positive? It was
show?
hand animated, and
Was-
it did look
So
it did
that's-
look really good and beautiful in a way. But like, just what the fuck was this?
But I was gonna say, was that all it really was? Was just to show you like the art
Yeah.
style that they
Oh,
might
yeah.
just
I guess.
use?
Definitely,
So
100%.
I hope that was more of just like a
100%.
This is all
teaser.
it
It was.
was.
Well, that's what they said. They,
Sure.
Okay.
they did market it as a teaser, and I guess I went
Okay.
into it thinking it was going to be a little bit more than that.
See,
Mhm.
same.
You're right.
So did I.
But oh man, that was kind of. I was sitting down there watching it. I was sitting there. Jamie comes down. She goes, "What are you watching?" And I go, I don't know.
I
I have no idea.
Just not sure what this is.
I go, I said it was like, oh, it's the new Studio Ghibli stuff on for Star Wars. She goes, okay. She's sitting there watching it. I'm like watching it, and it just ends. Just
I'll tell you
I'm putting on
this,
some moving castle. Fuck this shit.
I'm putting Andor back on.
Just, I won't ever watch it again. So yeah.
Well, until they fucking shove it down our throat in the next couple months, I'm sure. Because they're already fucking rocking it out. They're just making a whole bunch. Because that's what they do. They make these little shorts and they release like fucking 12 to 15 of them. I mean,
And we'll probably talk about them when they come out.
you're goddamn right we will.
Damn straight.
For better or for worse, typically. But anything else on the Ghibli?
I don't think so, man. They probably should be as long as it was. 3 minutes, so let's
I
just
think
move
we've
on.
spent longer talking and bitching about it than the thing actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep the optimism on that one, just because obviously they did market it as a teaser. So like you said, just to show the animation and the frame styles and everything like that. Okay.
Which the animation looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially for being hand animated, handwritten. I mean, it did look really good. But yeah, I didn't understand what I was watching. But
Right.
Grogu
what I did understand
Grogu
what I
and
was
Dust
watching
Bunnies.
and what was super fucking hot. Granted, I'm gonna have problems remembering episode 11 a little bit because the finale stuck in my head. But
Yeah.
Andor, it stuck the landing, boys. It's official. I give it the stamp of approval. Season 1 is officially certified, bona fide masterpiece.
My masterpiece.
Banger.
Banger.
That's a 10 out of 10 right there, boys.
Yeah, I'm a little less high on it than you are. Not a lot. But
Talking about the finale or just the season?
Season as a whole.
just the season.
Season as a whole, I'm definitely not that high on it, but yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I
love
as
this
far
show.
as 11 into 12, and like you said, 11 I'm kind of rusty on. It's been like you said, we're a week behind. Forgive us, but
All 11 really is for the most part, it's the guy he got away with, so they get a junky ass ship to get off the planet.
okay.
Oh, that's not good.
Well,
Guess our camera just shut off?
So there's that.
Did our camera just die?
Yeah, I think our camera just died.
Check on it, KP.
Okay.
Hey, we still got audio rolling, so we gotta make this right.
Sammy, if we can just get it re-rolling again, we could just splice the video in later. Just have it cut out for a second, and we're back.
That was weird. Like it went to standby.
I'll say, did it like die? Did it go full on Reaper?
Damn. Yeah, dude, that was like 20 minutes. Ain't that a bitch? Damn. No, it's all right. Fuck. Who would have thought that?
That 2 fucking full bars. We've only been going for what, 30 minutes?
If that.
Yeah, 26 minutes actually. Oh, did you have a backup? Oh, the
I've got,
backup.
like, 2 whole other batteries.
Hot.
Hell yeah. We are so sorry, audio listeners. And actually video listeners, for this blank screen or logo that you're probably getting right now. Maybe a picture of me with my laser eyes.
We're just going to call this the remix. Just going to remix it right in the middle.
This is going to be fun for me to edit later.
Yeah.
Can't be that difficult.
It won't be that bad. I pretty much have like templates set up now and everything. I just drop everything in. Really, the most pain in the ass thing is like syncing up the audio sometimes, especially if they're like not the same size. Like there's sometimes that like one audio will somehow be like a second or 2 shorter. So it's like I got to go in and like chop it and move all the audio,
where you can.
resync them like manually, and it's like I'm like, fuck this. So yeah, if you guys got any tips for me to fix that so that doesn't happen anymore, because it doesn't happen every time. Like last episode, we did our audio lined up perfectly with our video as soon as I like synced up the clap. I was like, perfect.
That's weird.
Nice.
And we're back.
Well, the video's back, I guess.
We're back. Welcome.
Oh,
So
new
our
angle.
bad.
Welcome.
Are we back? Am I even in the shot?
Yeah, you're in it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you're in it.
Okay, cool. All right. Andor.
Sorry for the random clap.
Clap.
I got 2
There's
for
the
that
clap.
one. I got 2 for that one now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Clapper.
No, the episode 11 was just them, like, getting off the planet that they were on, where they were being held prisoner.
Oh, that's right.
There might have been some.
Oh yeah, they
more-
ran into them the aliens that caught them in the net,
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we hate the Empire. Actually, we're
yeah,
gonna let
that's
you guys go."
yeah, that's how that conversation basically went. And
Yeah.
then I think the rest of it was more Mon Mothma stuff.
Yeah, which
Um,
getting really fucking dark with that type of shit.
Yeah,
Between
Yeah.
11 and 12 with her situation and her daughter.
right.
I mean, like the scene in the finale, like with her.
Oh.
Well, this is like the writing I'm talking about. Like when she's sitting in the back and she's like, got her coat. It's like she like undoes it and then she like leans back and it's like even like the camera like pans back, so it's like her like about to like open up and give away like a piece of her personal life, because like apparently she knew her driver's like a spy or whatever. But I feel like the guy that his driver goes and talks to, isn't he secretly with the rebellion? Isn't he like the Imperial officer that's like in the rebellion? I'm kind of confused on that a little bit. I need to go back and rewatch that. But
no, the
Yeah.
Imperial officer that's in the rebellion is the one that's working with Luthen. Because that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might need to rewatch that and consolidate that again.
but
There's subtleties there that I think I may have missed.
mm-hmm.
But I like that about just her kind of like opening up a piece of her life and get like Even though it's like her kind of, I think, lying. I think I don't think her husband is actually like gambling. I think that's just her way of covering up this whole money.
The movement
Oh yeah.
of money.
Oh
But-
yeah.
Yeah, talking about in the finale then.
Yep.
Yeah, going in the finale, I'd say that's what that is. Is she's more just fat, like she's like manipulating all of it. So then it's
Yeah, she's fattening up her story.
Yeah.
I mean, she's making everything look like it's harmless when in reality she's working behind the scenes more than anybody to make sure that the rebellion starts and it starts effectively. And obviously in the finale we see that she is fully fucking committed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck. You give away your child.
I mean, her daughter's kind of a fucking brat. Let's be honest.
Well,
So,
that's true.
I
But,
think the only
that's true. But then again, I think that her daughter kind of. I think in reality, I think her daughter kind of knows what she's doing. I don't know if she's completely ignorant to what her mom's doing,
yeah.
and I don't know if she necessarily agrees with it. Obviously, because kids, they think that whatever power's in place when kids are young, they think that's just how it's supposed to be. And I don't think she's gotten to the point where she has an opinion on the Empire or what they do because she hasn't seen any of it. So.
And to that point, like, I think that's ultimately another reason I really like this show is like we actually get to see like the power of the Empire in this, like the true like and how brutal and just
How they're assholes.
yeah, just like but you don't really like feel it. You don't really like feel that in a lot of the other Star. Like you just like it's just a known thing. Like yeah, these guys are the assholes, but you don't really like actually feel the weight of it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, let's be honest here. I said it earlier in the week when I was in the chat. It's the shot heard around the world. I mean, that's what the finale was.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, it was the Revolutionary War. I don't remember what town it was in. I can't remember any of that shit. I'm no fucking historian. But that when they basically give them no other choice other than to shoot them and show the whole world who they really are.
Mhm.
That's when they opened fire on them when they were fighting with them in the streets. That's what that was. I mean, so everybody else in the
And
galaxy is gonna know.
Yeah.
They opened up on unarmed civilians.
I love it because of like what's the character's name that gave the like the memoir that Andor was listening to? What's that character's name?
Marva, right? The woman.
No, the really smart guy that was like within the first 3 episodes.
The one that died because he got crushed by the.
Yeah, and he gives him the memoir, or whatever,
Yes.
and that he's like listening to what he wrote about the Empire. The line in there where it's like
The manifesto.
the manifesto. There, that's it. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Like he mentions how like complete control or power is like unnatural.
Yeah.
And it's like you see that play out in this whole episode about like they're literally freaking out over a funeral, and they can't stand it. They're just like, and they're like freaking out. They're like oh, push them back, like they're because they just it's unnatural. Like and they can't control everything.
Yep, and that's
they're
all
like,
they
and you
want.
see that line like play out the whole episode, and like.
And the ISB are basically the ones that are solely responsible for making sure that they maintain complete control.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones that work in the governments and they work with the different governors to make sure that they're doing what the Empire wants them to do and make sure that the people are doing what they're being told to do in those certain sectors. So it's great. I mean, it was really well done.
I also
thought it was,
like the reveal of. Did you guys pay attention to like the Andor like title screen and like the music that would play before each episode and how it would change?
Yes.
Subtly.
Yes.
So I like at the end, like, so I was, when this episode or the finale played, I was like, listen to it, and I was like, all right, this feels very funerally, which is kind of natural. But then I was like, but it's also kind of like uneasy vibes. And then you get the episode, it's like, oh, the Andor theme is just the Ferrick's funeral theme this whole time.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And it's like kind of cool how it's like, in a way, it's kind of like the song of like rebellion, because like here's kind of where it all starts. Like now it's kind of like a rebel theme music in a way.
Well, I thought it sounded familiar too when they were playing it. I was like, why is that familiar?
Yeah,
I didn't tie that together, but that
I
makes
dug
sense.
into it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the whole funeral was cool, and yeah, like you said, I mean, it was sick because it was basically the one of many actions that's happening across this universe that they're like you said, they're getting the Empire to respond to them, like basically saying, "Okay, get the hell out of our planet."
Yeah, like Skarsgård when he was talking about, like when there's like they're gonna react with harsh force. That's what we want.
Yeah,
You know,
and
that-
that's
just-
like,
this
and it
is-
plays into where like,
And that's the other cool
and that's the thing too, where it plays in where Mon Mothma was like, people will die, and like you see it in this finale that, Luthen's, it's like his whole dream comes true where people
Yes,
fight back, but
and
then
he
it's,
gets to see it
but it's
like
but it's
right in front of
also
him
Yeah.
happen.
but it's also Mon Mothma was like correct, and it's like, well, it's gonna get real ugly. Like these people will die, and that's definitely what happened.
and that's what the whole goal was. Because now that this
Yeah.
happened, there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube.
yeah,
Like
Mhm.
this is where we're at now, and this is gonna start to pop up everywhere. And if you get a little bit of consolidation with the rebellion, then we see what happens in the original trilogy. Honestly, so no, it's great. And another line I really liked when Luthen gets grabbed up by Andor and he says, "Are you here to kill me?" And he said, "Not an
Yeah.
easy thing to do."
Yeah.
I love that, dude. That's just great. Like you said, like you've been saying, great writing and just.
and he just at the end, he's
So
just
good.
like, just kill me. He's like, just kill me or
Yeah,
take me in.
yeah.
And I think when he said take me in, he probably meant taking him into a prison. And Luthen was like, well, I got a different idea.
Oh, see, I took it as just take me into the rebellion, like take me with you to,
Yeah,
let me in on the plan.
Maybe that is what it really
Yeah.
meant to be.
Yeah,
Like, kill me or let me in,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
because I have nothing else to live for at this point.
Take care of me
Yeah.
as a loose end, like you think I am, or use me.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's,
True.
Oh, and so I kind of want to apologize to my boy Cyril. All right,
Oh, what if that
'Cause
dude?
I'll tell you what, I called him a creep.
he's real rapey.
I called him a creep at first,
He real rapey.
but I'm not gonna lie. For whatever reason, when he saved Dedra,
yeah.
and like her reaction, I was just like, "Kiss, goddammit!"
I thought it was gonna be a little. I thought it was gonna be a little bit of a struggle cuddle there for a minute. And, I mean, she just looked freaked out,
Dude,
and he
she did,
was
and
just
that was
like-
so powerful because she's been so
In charge.
strong and in charge this whole time, and we get that one moment of weakness for her. And,
Well, 'cause
and Cyril was there, and he wasn't actually being
Well,
a
it's-
creep. He was just trying to save
Well,
her.
and it's great too because you see her for who she really is. Because it's basically in a moment of where she might die. That was yeah. So.
Well, between that and a reflection of what the Empire really is you have all these people doing what they're told, and that's what we portray to be evil. But realistically, they're just being told to do these things.
True.
I mean, some of them are fucking genuinely evil, yes.
Yeah.
But most of them, they have to be that way because that's what the Empire expects you to be. But that may not be who they actually are. It's like the Nazis when they were picking up all these, conquering all these different lands and making their people fight for them. Those people aren't evil, but what other choice do they have?
yeah.
They either
Yeah.
get waxed or they do what they're
A
told.
lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why they always do such a good job of the comparison between, Nazis and the Empire. That's I mean, you look at the paratroopers,
yeah.
you look at the grenadiers, and you're like,
100%.
Yeah.
it's ridiculous how much they try to parallel them.
I do like that. I felt mixed about it at first. I can't remember the dude's name, but who had Marva's like death stone. And the first thing when they start is he takes it and just smacks the dude in the face. I was
yeah.
like, I think she would actually like that in the end.
That actually might be why she told him to take the stone in the first place.
But I thought it. I even even the scene with Marva and the hologram. Like
That was awesome.
it's kind of like the mirror of Palpatine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's almost like a mirror of that scene, but for the rebellion.
Oh yeah.
Like the
yeah.
rallying cry, kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, this show's so fucking good,
Dude,
I get it. Like, if it's not for everybody, but this was right up my alley. Yes, give me season 2. I love this shit.
Which
This is the
apparently
best
gonna
thing
have a
Disney's put
time
out.
skip. They said of like a year.
Well, and that would make sense. I mean, I think
Whatever.
there's a lot of things that happen in between there that I think have already been addressed by either books, shows, or what have you. I mean, as far as results go, one weird theory that I did hear, and it might be a little bit out there. I don't know. But this robot that he's always got with him, that's malfunctioning all the time. That's like the one that
You think they like put it into the?
I think I put it in another robot.
Well, yeah, as I say the K2
Yeah,
model that they obviously hack.
Yeah.
that's I have seen that as a theory. There's also a theory that I subscribe to as well that we did not get confirmation. Luthen being a Jedi.
Oh, I've heard that theory too.
And I was kind of like iffy on it, but It was episode 11 or 10. He goes into somewhere and he hands somebody something and he wants it back, and it literally just looks like a wooden lightsaber almost. I'd have to
I'd have to go
show
back
you
and
guys,
watch
but
that.
I think a more realistic
and it
scenario.
also makes sense why he has all of these Sith and Jedi artifacts. And I went into this
Yeah.
deep dive where it's there's actually a person that's in the books that he could actually that is a Jedi
Well,
that collected
so-
artifacts and stuff like
so
that.
that's what I
And
saw.
I was like,
Yeah.
please just give it to us.
Yeah, I think the way that we've been going with how we pull information from books and non-canon and stuff like that could very well be that character, or at least their best portrayal of them.
Right,
you
or
know?
even just a nod to him or
Yeah,
something.
because I think
And I think that
realistically-
even the name was really close to Luthen.
Oh, really?
It wasn't the exact same, but it was they almost kind of
like
rhymed
Lothan
a
or
little bit.
Lothal or Lothan or something, and they just fucking change a couple of vowels. They fucking throw them in there, and they're like, "Oh, that's not him." Yeah, it's clearly him. No, it's not him. Bro.
No,
Nuh-uh, bro.
this is an original character.
There's an O
I
instead
stayed
of
up
an E.
till 5 in the morning making this character.
There's an O. There's an O instead of an E.
I stayed up till 5 in the morning.
You see what we
making
did
this
there? You see what we did there? Took the O and replaced it with an E. No, dude. I think a more realistic scenario for him, since he's in such a place of prominence, for him to be able to hide his force powers in such a, and he's so much older too. That's my thing. Is if people would know who he is by now. You know what I mean? That's why I not as
So my counter to that would be old Ben Kenobi.
he had to hide himself in the desert for 10 years to keep himself.
but-
Obi-Wan
So how
Kenobi.
long
you
at this
mean
point
old
would
Obi-Wan.
How long at this point would Jedi not be around?
15 years.
Or so.
So he could have maybe hid away and
It's a very good
suppressed. I'm not
possibility.
he might not be like you said. He probably had to suppress the Force, and he's probably not tapped into it
Right.
quite the same. But he has a kyber crystal too. Why does he have a kyber crystal?
Well,
Well,
here's
okay,
actually what I
so
was gonna go with. I was,
That never really got answered. Yeah.
Also, there's
why
one
did
other
he
thing
have
that
a
didn't get
kyber
answered
crystal?
either in this series. That they wrapped most of the things up in a pretty tight bow, but that and Andor's sister, which they introduced at the very beginning of the series and then never got touched up on again. I thought for sure they were going to
guess
reference her in the
that
finale.
was-
Okay.
I guess that was more lazily written, where
Um,
he just needed to accept that she's dead.
I don't think so.
I don't know though.
Okay. So 2 points. I think Luthen. I think that the kyber crystal and the wooden lightsaber that there were wooden lightsabers.
Yeah.
The Wookiees usually had them when they became Jedi.
That's fucking sick. I
I
did
mean,
not
that
know
is-
that, and
yeah.
I am all the better for knowing this knowledge now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Wookiees had wooden
Because in
lightsabers.
Clone Wars, there's a Wookiee Padawan that they have to. These
Yeah.
There's an episode where they take kids, youngling Jedi, to go forge their lightsabers.
And they get to
and the
work with
Wookiee-
the legend that
And the
builds them
Wookiee,
stuff,
the
and-
one that's
yeah.
a Wookiee, it's like a big wooden
like
handle
a branch. It's like a branch.
with a branch. Yeah,
like
That's so sick.
Yeah, and I think okay, so Luthen has been so well prepared and had so much forethought into everything that he's been doing to set up this rebellion. I think it would be a monumental mistake if you didn't know that the Jedi, or at least finding Force sensitive and training them,
yeah,
wouldn't be instrumental in your rebellion.
Yeah, I'm showing.
Oh yeah,
The Gungans.
That's fucking sick.
So when you think about it, he has a kyber crystal because he wants to bring Jedi back, because that's going to be the number one, driving force behind rallying the people.
Yeah.
And then also, because he could be training people. He could be training people and or at least working with people who train the Jedi, hiding in secret. Because it's already been confirmed that what's his nuts is still alive, and Obi-Wan, the yellow paint on his face.
Voss.
No, not Drayden Voss. Shit. The one that makes an appearance, a cameo in Return of the Jedi, allegedly. The one that falls in love with Ventress.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Was that Voss?
Yeah. Right.
This is all over my little casual Star Wars fan head. I recognize the name, but I don't know who that is at all.
It might not be.
Well, it was Voss. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Voss. So they've basically already confirmed he's still alive at this point. And they have, and then especially when Obi-Wan comes back in the series,
that's it.
Quinlan Voss.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, I was thinking Dryden Boss. That was the dude
That's
that's
what
the
I
end.
weirdly was thinking too, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's wrong."
Yeah,
I was like,
no, but when they in Obi-Wan when they're in the hangar and Obi-Wan opens up that box and it's just a box full of lightsabers. You can see that the rebellion knows that their meal ticket to a successful rebellion is bringing the Jedi back. So they're trying to collect all the artifacts and everything that they possibly can for a means to an end. So
Yeah.
I mean it's
That makes sense.
pretty cool. I mean that's and it's cool that they showed it in such a slow step because we've never seen this. I mean this is the first that
Yeah.
of the the early fledglings of the rebellion we thought we got with Rebels and Clone Wars. Wrong.
wrong.
Wrong. Yeah. No, I'm excited for season 2. I don't think that I would have liked the finale as much if I didn't know there was going to be a season 2.
I would agree. There's not really enough. Yes, if we didn't know there was a season 2, this kind of would have felt there wasn't enough oomph. It would have
Like
been. It felt a little.
anticlimactic.
Yeah, it felt a little flat, but I think it works in the context of already knowing we're getting a season 2.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, okay, this whole season was basically just how Andor joins the rebellion. Like that's a nice wrap bow tied up. We're done. Now we actually get to see him do rebel shit.
Yeah, like
moving
a
forward.
polished,
So-
like a more polished dark rebellion. You know, because he was gonna shoot fucking in Rogue One. He was gonna snipe fucking what's his nuts? Galen.
yeah,
He was gonna
Galen
shoot
or
him in the
so.
head, man. He was
Yeah.
just sitting there looking at him, just waiting to shoot. You know, and I'm like, man, I want to
So
see him pull that
hopefully
trigger.
a more darker, promising, hardcore season.
Hey,
Oh,
I'd be down for it.
hopefully.
I hope so, man.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That's another thing I like about this show is like they show that like the rebels aren't afraid to get dirty.
Yeah. And they're not afraid to fist fight with armed stormtroopers in the street and just waxing people.
I just love how they like headbutt them.
Yeah.
It's like what this makes.
Dude, the
the hardest
Sparta
part of the
kick,
body, baby. Let's go.
the Sparta kick with the hammer dude out of the tower. I was like, yes.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. I'm like, bro.
And didn't we get the classic screaming?
Yeah.
Didn't we get the? Didn't we get the classic like screaming stormtrooper fall
Yeah,
from
the
that
Wilhelm.
dude?
Of course.
It was awesome. I was like, yes.
But dude, also,
Feed me that nostalgia from the 80s.
also since the heist, this is the first time that they've actually used live blasters.
Oh yeah, true.
So we've had a long stretch where in the prison.
Did you like
obviously
too
they're
how
using
it?
those. They're
Did
using
you like too how
shocky floors?
they were shady with it, like the smoke from the explosion,
yeah.
and then the officers for the Empire were like, yeah, now start
Yeah,
blasting
yeah, go
because
ahead.
they can lie.
And then I started blasting.
Yeah. Well, and what it is too is now they can lie and say like, well, all of them started it, and it's like, well, it was smoky. Who knows what really happened?
Right.
But I love
Sure.
that. I love that little piece of it. How they waited until there was smoke everywhere, and then they were like, all right, blast the hell out of all
Dude,
of them.
and that plays, and I didn't even think about that until you just said it, because that plays so much into the Empire as a general rule, is they do things in secret and they try to hide all the
Yeah.
horrible shit they do from people. So
Oh yeah.
he looks
Got
around
to.
and goes, "Oh, nobody can see what we're doing."
That's
Fucking
yeah.
destroy
that's
these people.
that's
Yeah.
legitimately how the scene went. And I thought that little detail was perfect.
That's
I
a
was
good-
like, okay, that's
call.
actually
That's
amazing.
cool. Actually,
That
I
is a
didn't
great
notice
call.
that. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's cool.
Fuck, this show's so good.
It is. I'm excited.
Fuck, this show is awesome.
Hey, but dude,
I can't wait to go back and rewatch this whole thing now.
we've got
I think I
a month
would.
and a half until fucking Bad Batch too.
Oh, yes.
I'm fucking excited. So pumped.
I can't wait to see my boy Rekka again.
Tick, Ricka.
Gosh.
So what do you guys wanted to... any other final thoughts on Andor?
Man, no, I mean, obviously just excited for the next season. And so you said 10 out of 10.
To me, I understand if it's not, but to me, this was right up my alley as far as like storytelling. I just
Well,
love
you
this show.
really like the grounded
For me, it's-
aspect of the show and most things, I think. So,
I do like when things are really grounded and there's like
Yeah. There's a more real feeling to
what's
it,
the word?
I guess, is what you say.
Verisimilitude to it or whatever, that fancy ass word. Yeah, to me, yes, this season's a 10 out of 10. I like my only like nitpicks are just like, okay, what about the sister, which I'm sure is going to get addressed somewhere.
Mhm.
And then a little nitpicky, just what about that kyber crystal a little bit? But once again, I'm sure that'll
Right.
get.
Yeah.
But like that's so nitpicky.
Right, and
Like,
and maybe
Yeah,
that's
to me, it's a.
maybe they're wanting us to have this conversation. I
Maybe.
mean, that's. I mean, maybe season 2 is going to be both of those explanations.
And that
very well.
very well could happen. Yeah, so to me, 10 out of 10 doesn't mean I think it's a perfect show, but to
It
me,
is
it's
for
but,
you.
but to me, it's a masterpiece. Like I love it.
I mean, I would say that that's huge that you like it this much because that's going to set your standard for Star Wars moving forward. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, and part of it could be that we've been getting such gutter trash for so long that now we
my
got this,
God.
and I'm just like, finally, some hotness again.
What gutter trash?
He's talking about Obi-Wan.
Oh, that wasn't gutter trash. That was amazing.
You know
That
what? Hey,
one
For
episode.
2 episodes,
hey, watch this.
it was cool.
Wait a minute. Once Jordan finishes like Clone Wars and Rebels and all this stuff, and
Well,
then he comes back
that
and
is
watches it,
kinda
he's gonna
the-
be like, "Hey, it's not an empty bull fart
Hey,
after all."
this
gonna-
still should have been
He's
just
gonna
a
come back-
movie,
he's gonna-
guys.
He's gonna come back.
Yeah, I agree,
He's
I
gonna
agree.
come back with the Thanos line. Just perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Or the Vader line.
Yeah.
Perhaps you're
Maybe that'll
feeling
be
you
a-
were treated unfairly.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's
Pray I
the.
don't alter it any further.
Since the Kenobi episodes we recorded are lost episodes, we're gonna have to do this trek again. All right, I'll take the challenge. We will watch Clone Wars and Rebels, and then I will go back and watch Kenobi, and we'll see if it changes my opinion on it.
I think it will.
I will take on the challenge, but until then, you guys want to do Guardians or Wakanda first?
Oh, I forgot about Wakanda.
Let's do Guardians first because I don't feel like that's gonna be that long.
No, I
I'll
didn't
just get
even-
out of the way real quick.
I watched like 10
True.
minutes of it.
Basically, since you only watched,
I can't believe you stopped when it's a
It's-
Christmas special. It
It's-
has a song, and you were like, "I'm out."
Right. That is kind of funny.
I
It's
don't-
like, well, what did you? It's about Christmas.
No, I had
That's-
no idea what
That's
it's.
all we ever do.
Listen.
And honestly,
listen,
that's
I
probably
don't
one of the better Christmas songs I've heard in a while.
Listen, I don't care if they made a show after
I mean, the
when
fir-
Jesus came
I
back.
was
If
gonna
they
say
were singing
that's
about
the
it,
other
I wouldn't
thing,
watch it.
Is that honestly, when you listen to what he's singing in that first song, it was hilarious.
was like, like, did you listen to the lyrics? It was
Not even a
awesome.
little bit. Guys.
Oh, dude, you should have. The lyrics are hilarious.
No, then that's a half truth. I'm just half truthing it. I literally tried to watch it this morning and I was just tired and I was like,
Gotcha.
fuck. I was like, I heard singing at 7 a.m. and I was like, ah, fuck.
Well, I would say that
7
if
in the
you got
morning.
the 40 minutes, watch it. It's very, very funny.
Very good.
Minor spoiler, the majority of it is really just Drax and Mantis running around, and they just basically are idiots, like
Just like in the movie.
just like in the movie. But you just get like it's a more personal touch because they're actually the focal point. You know, they're
Yeah.
the center. You know, like the rest of the team's in the special, but
Very little.
very little.
Yeah, it's definitely a Drax and Mantis special, which I thought was cool.
I thought
I
it
agree.
was
I
good.
thought that was really cool that we got to focus on these two.
And then the big reveal, and it's pretty cool. I don't know
I
if that's
agree.
the case in the comics, but if they want to do
I
it this
don't
way
know.
in the MCU, it honestly makes sense for how they did the movies. So.
I agree. I don't actually know if that's how it is in the comics, but it
Yeah.
works for me how they did it. Yeah, I won't lie. I'll be a man about it. I teared up at the end. Fuck you. I thought it was cute. Very sweet.
It was sweet. It was nice.
Although you didn't get to experience that very sweet moment, Jeff.
You want to sing about it to me?
I might. You want me to pull up the lyrics?
No, because you can just go watch the damn special, and they will.
I already know.
Um,
I know. I'm gonna watch it. It just wasn't hitting for me this morning. wasn't hitting.
I need to go back. I love my little funny man. Do you want to save Christmas, or do you want your little funny man? Drax. Oh, my little funny man. Awesome. Yeah, I really love. I guess we don't want to completely spoil it,
No, I don't care.
but there's not really.
3, 2, 4.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it very vaguely. I loved it. It was really cute. Hope they make another one. Groot's swole now. That's dope.
It just looks so odd. It's like he's the swole body, but it's the childlike head.
Right.
It's weird. It is weird. I was like, okay, I guess, but.
I also popped way too loudly at Bacon calling Rocket a raccoon. And him, dude,
So
I
died laughing too.
I literally apologized to Haley. I was like, I'm sorry, I laughed extremely too loud at that,
Right,
but I
'cause
love that running
right.
gag.
I love the running gag too. He thinks that raccoon is the detriment word to him, and because in the second movie, Quill's just, what am I called on your planet? Trash panda. He just that running joke, and he just. Why is there a talking raccoon? All right, that's it. I'm gonna kill you. I was just dying laughing.
Definitely recommend, especially.
I love too when he's just, I'm so happy to be here, and he just dead face just turns to her, just, you used your powers on it. It's just, she's just, no, maybe. Yeah. It was. I mean, it's just a little comedy short. It was good. It's good stuff.
Funny, has some heart, some Christmas cheer. Jeff clearly has none in his fucking heart now. So, guess we'll just move on.
Maybe we can touch his heart with this very mournful and grieving movie of.
Well, I mean, the black hole that is
Wakanda Forever.
Am I mentally prepared?
I
I'm uncomfortable. You're one right over left.
Oh, who?
God
What?
damn it!
That's a thing.
God.
Yes,
Is this really
yes,
a thing?
it is a thing.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, bro.
Let them know in the comments.
Sorry, bro.
You're making me uncomfortable. All right.
You can't be over there
Yeah,
appropriating.
just
You can't.
Wakanda Forever, man.
You
You're
can't
making
be
me
out there
uncomfortable.
appropriating Wakandan
Could at
culture.
least- Could at least do this one.
Oh, the Kamehameha wave.
Yeah, which I think is sick.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. I did like that.
Thoughts on the movies, boys? What's the general thoughts?
I think it's a really.
Also, warning for spoilers. We've been going spoilers the whole time. If you watch us, we just go into
Well,
spoilers.
the movie's been out now at this point 2 weeks, so
Yeah, 2 or 3.
you just
This
don't
is the
care
third
if you
weekend.
haven't seen it by now.
Okay.
Agreed.
40 minutes left in this movie. I was in the theater and I'm like, something big has got to happen. Like waiting. I feel like I was waiting for a lot, for things to happen, and just nothing really did. I mean, there were moments where it was cool stuff, but it wasn't like a defining moment in the movie
That's kind of why, to me, for a Marvel movie, it's like, this is good, but I don't think it's as amazing as audiences are taking it. Because I mean, even critics didn't rate this one your typical Marvel. I mean, 84% I think is the RT score, the tomato score. I don't know what Metacritic gave it, but I don't think this one got that big of a review because it was kind of, I think, a step backwards. I do have one issue with it, and it's just, we can get to it at the very, very end. But for the most part, I mean, it's just a movie about grieving for loss and how to cope and handle loss.
Yeah.
And obviously I can relate to that, but I mean, and anyone can. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I will say this, that a mutual friend of Jsibs and I, we just both kind of said that I'm just not big on Shuri being Black Panther. I don't know. I'm just not big on it.
I agree. I think this movie made it work enough to where I kind of at least believed it, storyline, arc wise. But ultimately, this is how I feel about this movie. Is when I go to think about this certain stuff, it's I'm just ultimately torn on so many different decisions that they made. And it's this being one of them. It's personally, I wanted Nakia or M'Baku to take over the Black Panther.
I think it would have made a lot of sense for Nakia to take it over.
Nakia would have been number one because she was the war dog. But then it's well, they have spoilers. They have the kid now, so she has to be off in Haiti or whatever. And it's okay, but you didn't have to have that there.
Yeah, you also didn't even need to have the kid. You didn't have to have that.
Well, and the fact that she came back in and was such a badass, and then they're like,
Yeah.
and then they go,
She literally single-handedly has to go save Shuri.
yeah,
And I don't.
and they're
yeah.
like, never mind, she's gone.
She single-handedly goes and saves Shuri and Riri Williams, and
And that's
The-
that's another thing
and
I'm
just
torn on.
leaves
Like,
it. Fucks everybody
I hate
up.
to, because I don't really mean to say this, like, because this is a slight towards the actress, but the thing is like, Letitia Wright just doesn't have like the. I guess it's a little unique. It's not the typical superhero build, because even like with, you saw how jacked Natalie Portman got. So I mean, I think the actress, that's the other thing, is she's kind of more physically, athletically built, and
Mhm.
kind of looks like what you would imagine and someone that's a superhero would look like. So
I mean,
again,
granted,
I don't really
her-
mean
her
to,
War
I know
Dog
that's
suit looks
that's
cool,
a
but-
slight towards the actress that plays Shuri, but and
I mean,
hate
what-
that it
I think
is,
you
but
can
that's just like
see-
my own, and that's really just my own opinion, my perspective on it is why I have some stupid hang up there about that.
My biggest hang up is
I do have a real critique though about many things in the movie and kind of dealing with Shuri, the Black Panther mantle and stuff. So
am I wrong for this that when Ironheart or
yeah,
when she who's the bald chick, what's her name?
Okoye?
demon, the demon,
Demon.
Well,
Okoye.
Okoye.
when
Oh,
she
that-
says
that was
that when she
hilarious.
calls her Ashy,
Dude, yeah, that too. Oh my god, there was just so much.
I go, what, bro? Like I'm sitting there in the theater like I
You were just kind of questioning if you should laugh at it.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I felt the same. I
I'm
was like, oh my gosh, I know what all this means. I don't know if I should be laughing.
I looked over at Nick and I'm like, did you just fucking call her Ashy?
Right.
He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like looked around. I was like, everybody else. Nobody laughed. Nobody laughed in the theater. Nobody. I'm like,
Dude,
not
I will
because
say,
it wasn't funny.
I let out a laugh, and I caught that no one else laughed. And I was like, oh, whoops. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I went lean forward and went, what? Like that was
So I don't mind how they. So Riri Williams' character. God, I can't even talk. I don't mind how they like tied her into the plot. It's fine. Kind of cool. She is at MIT, which obviously the last that they
Your
had
girl's
MIT
at-
in the universe.
Your
Tony
girl.
Stark was there funding all those projects.
All
and
that,
Civil
and that's
War.
where Zendaya goes to school. Well, sorry,
So-
Mary Jane.
Oh,
MJ.
yeah.
that's some news I forgot. Apparently, in the Ironheart series, yes, the MJ and Ned are supposed to be.
Oh, they're gonna
They're gonna be in the show because they're going to MIT when Riri
That's so
Williams
sick.
does.
Dude, you put Zendaya in anything, I am in. Understand.
I understand that,
Understand
but I
that.
still can't. I just cannot get into that.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
unfamiliar
cannot-
with your game.
I cannot get
Forgot
into
the
that
rule.
Euphoria show real quick just to comment on that. But no, all right, so
Love
some
that show.
issues I had though with this movie, guys, was that I did not like how they killed the queen.
No,
Like I thought that was like
a cheap shot of a death for a major character.
well, and it
I
just
thought-
fell out of place too because really I thought the movie was supposed to the movie's really supposed to be based around how they're getting past T'Challa's death. So then they just off Angela Bassett's character too.
and face down in the water and fucking like.
And it felt like too even because even with like the end credit scene or the end of it when she finally like accepts like their custom thing with T'Challa,
Mhm.
it still felt like her death was just it felt even more unnecessary because it's almost like well the Shuri character she could have cared it seems like she could have cared less that her mom died.
I mean,
she
I-
cared obviously because she wanted to kill Namor, but
Yeah.
it just I felt like it was like
I agree. I wasn't
So-
thrilled about it either, and it kind of just seemed like it was put in there for the purpose of giving Shuri nobody left.
yeah.
And that really, yeah. And to your point, like at the end, it just seems like I didn't even really think about that until now because I actually love how it ends. Not so much.
I'm just saying.
Like,
it
I
just
like how
felt
it
like
ended.
I don't like the last battle, but I like how it wrapped up.
like
Yeah.
like for me, just like the very last scene of just her. Like the one thing I do like about and why Shiri like in this story like kind of works for me, is like she's basically going through the stages of grief in this
Yeah.
whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. So that's where I'm like torn on it. It's like because Shiri like doesn't work for me as Black Panther, but it's like she does in this movie. Like they wrote it in a way to where it's like okay, it makes sense to me, but it's like I still think you should have just went with Nakia.
I thought
Yeah.
the coolest thing though was the way they get the heart-shaped herb back is she makes a synthetic version, which does happen in the comics, but she doesn't make it. But a synthetic one is made in the comics. In the comics, Killmonger makes the synthetic one, and he has to keep taking it. So it's cool, though, in this movie, she makes the synthetic one, and then when she goes into the sleep world, she sees him instead. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool Easter eggs to the comics, then.
And, dude, it was cool when he popped up. Everybody was just
I
like,
did not see it coming.
Like, yeah, nobody did.
So the fact they had De La Fontaine in it, running around with the other Everett Ross, and, like, you know, it gets revealed that apparently they're ex-spouses. But, like, her character being in it, and then the cameo from Killmonger, those were the two, like, to me, I was like, oh, this is a surprise. Like, I just didn't see either of those two coming in this movie.
Yeah, they kept it pretty hush-hush. And then, and I mean, considering everything we were concentrating on for the movie, obviously we knew it was going to be a sad movie, and we weren't thinking about the possible...
I'm kind of upset that one Dora Milaje character just ended up being just kind of nothing. It's like, oh, you made this name character for like 2 gags, pretty much. Gosh, I had like
liked the name. I liked Namor, but I also
dude, Namor was awesome.
However,
he was awesome, but I was thrown off by like his character personality and everything. I didn't think that was the direction they were gonna go. Like I thought he was gonna be this more stern and demanding.
Dude, he was kind of wimpy at times to me.
I will say
That's
he's kind
how
of
I felt.
Yeah.
He is more
but he's not really
likable in the movie than he is in the comics because he's a straight fucking prick in the comics.
I was gonna say I think in the comics he actually kind of is.
He's an anti-hero. Like, there's times that he helps out, but he's a fucking asshole about it. And usually he only does it to benefit Atlantis or Talocan.
And that was cool with how it reacts with the vibranium or whatever. It reacts with the water. He gave him a son. That was fucking.
Oh
cool.
yeah,
that was cool.
First off, it's really cool that we have like 2 basically Atlantises right now, and they're so vastly different. Like the Atlantis and Aquaman.
I was gonna say,
and they're both so fucking cool in different ways. Like, I really like how they did Talocan. I think it looks sweet.
I like it a lot, even more so because they were forced to go there. You know what I mean? Like when the people were all on land and they were driven to the sea. You know, because they couldn't breathe oxygen or whatever.
Right.
You know, they were driven there. So now you can see why they're fucking all just. I mean, they're warrior people. I mean, you know, and what did he say that he had a soldier for every blade of grass.
Yeah.
In the world or some shit like that.
So while I liked that line and thought it was cool,
clearly
he didn't because they never did I get that.
Never got that sense of urgency.
Any of the fights, I was like, "Where's all these Talicans?"
Well, with the ship, when they had the ship out in the middle of the ocean and they were crawling up the sides, and there was like 2 or 3 of them left. I think that was symbolizing like you couldn't see them all because the water's there and it's just a ship, but they were crawling up. They were covering every inch of the sides of that ship and like the entire top, except for like a little circle that big, which the people that are standing in it were safe-ish. But no, I mean, they tried to represent it, but obviously, that wouldn't be in the budget.
So okay, that's funny word you say that because I know Jordan's opinion on it. It's my opinion too. So, what was your thought on the Ironheart suit?
Good thought.
Like, what's your reaction to looking at it?
Good thought.
Yeah, because it looked terrible.
That's it.
Yeah, because the CGI for that suit looked terrible.
Absolutely. No, I liked that we got to see said suit. in this
Yeah, I
movie.
like that we have the character, but it looked bad. It's like you can tell it's like they took a shortcut on this.
So
CGI.
I was
100%.
one of my favorite parts of this movie might have been when Riri goes to leave and she's like, "Yeah, but you got to leave the suit behind." Thank fuck, go build another one. That thing looks like shit.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that probably was their
That's like
intent.
to me personally. I don't think Riri needed to be in this movie. I like her so far, and I'm actually more excited to watch her series now.
but
So
the
it
whole-
accomplished the job that they put her in there in the first place. But she is the part of this movie that I think makes it start to feel overbloated. Like there is so much going on.
Well,
in this
because
movie.
and the thing too is like the whole American scientist thing that makes the machine that can detect the vibranium. That whole plot line.
and
That could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be her. So I can see where it's like, well, she's the one part of this that's like, well, you could have just been literally anyone else, and we didn't have to.
Because
Because
I've heard some people say like, well, no, like LaFontaine and Bilbo didn't have to be in it. Freeman.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And I was just like, but no,
but
but they make so much sense because this is like a geopolitical thing, like right now. Like it makes sense for them to be here. Like it just
Yeah, but ultimately all it was a plot development for again what the American government's going to be doing, and
but it kind of to me it makes sense because
'Cause
I think
know-
that Thunderbolts thing is also going to tie into Wakanda.
well,
So
and
potentially
and I think
the third one.
and I think Captain America 4 does as well, because a big theory on Captain America 4 is going to be that it might start out like that America is trying to engage with other countries and trying to go after Wakanda and Talokan for the vibranium finally, because they're just tired of not having it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that stuff. Like,
I've heard that that's the big theory.
Yeah, and I've heard also that every one of these countries is like representation of like a foreign entity. To that point, to
Mhm.
support that point, like Talokan is this country. It's supposed to be this country, or Atlantis is supposed to be this country. That like they're trying to make a, like you said, geopolitical statement, and they're trying to say, okay, just for example, Talokan is China. Just for that sense, what would happen if those two were to go after each other, and how
Right.
how much would that destroy the world,
Yeah.
So I mean, I think because there's certain things that I'm like, I think I've seen that before. Like I think I've heard somebody say something along those lines before, or there's certain things about their culture and certain things that are relatable to real world countries and the way that they act or the way they portray themselves or their culture.
Mhm.
So
What's most amazing is this movie, great reviews, people love it. And I'm gonna
you gonna shit on it? What's going on here?
Oh, Jay, I just love how calm you've been, because this movie has a Martha moment.
It fucking does have a Martha moment. Yeah, funny how that shit works, huh?
No one cares that.
Yeah,
this
but no one
movie
fucking
has
cares.
the Martha
I had
moment.
that same fucking thought when I was watching it, but I wasn't
Yeah,
actually
when
I wasn't
she-
gonna bring it up because I
She had.
figured I'd just
You
get
know what we're
bagged on
talking
for
about?
it.
no,
You can't. Okay, so at the end, she's hell bent on killing him.
yeah,
She chops one of his wings on his feet. He's fucked up, dehydrated, and he's like
it fucks him up with a fucking
So
whatever that fucking thing is. The fucking
so he's like dehydrated. He's lying on the ground on his back, just lying down. He can't move because he's literally his energy zapped. She has the spear over him,
oh yeah,
literally holding it the same way for the stab kill, and it just has this quick, very oddly placed. I mean, yeah, the queen comes in and it's like from the plane, just show him who you are, and she just stabs into the sand right by his head. She's just like, I'll make you this deal. This is Martha moment. It was literally BVS. Just different.
See, but
Got it.
here's the thing though.
I saw a hot
As
take
much as
and-
people want to shit on BVS in that moment works for me. Is it maybe a little cheesy? Is it maybe a little corny? Yeah, I'll give it to
little.
you. But if you actually know it,
little.
because if you actually know anything about Batman,
bull's
you would
like a
understand why that name would make him freak out.
Anyway,
Anyway.
he is a motherfucker.
No, I just wanted to get your thoughts because I was like, I saw
To
honestly,
me, it still works. It
I'll say
works
this.
just as well as BVS in my opinion.
it does
at the
still
moment.
work
It
because, like you
works.
said, it really works because, like you said, she's going through the stages of dealing with loss throughout the whole movie. So it does work because
It's
you do get to
redemption.
that point where you're angry, and then eventually you're just like you do move on with your life, which is what she kind of did.
Plus,
After
it's
she
like a
burned the
theme of
fuck
her
out of
coming in and saying that when like her children are at their lowest, like when T'Challa was fighting to be king or Black Panther,
to
and
be
he
Black
was getting
Panther,
his
and
fucking ass whipped,
yeah,
and she's like, "Show him who you are."
Show him who you
I
are.
had
And then he just starts whipping that ass.
I just had to charcoal grill his ass really quick, and then I decided to be a good person.
But that ultimately is, and all this leads to my actual problem. And they did do what I was like, oh, I don't think they would. So they did kind of just decide, yeah, that whole tradition of we fight for who is the Black Panther, yeah, throw that out the window.
That's something I didn't like.
The
like
very
either.
end when M'Baku gets off the ship and he's like, she's our Black Panther and she ain't showing up. And he goes, I'm going to challenge whoever to be king. It's like, okay, well, clearly he wins that probably.
Yeah,
And then,
I would hope so.
yeah, I
yeah.
should.
So that's like the big hang up that I kind of have with this is that they basically took that whole tradition that they established in the first one and it's like, well, you got this back now and you're just tossing the tradition out the window.
And they took the biggest like caveman attitude, culture, and tribe, and they just instilled him. It's like the way they treat him and his tribe and how different they are from
Yeah.
mainstream Wakandan culture.
Mhm.
And they're like, come on in. Yeah, you're good now.
Right.
You're good now. I mean, obviously you saw the changes in him throughout the movie, and I think that he was going through his own stages of grief too, like you say.
Yeah.
But
Well, because T'Challa was the first king to actually come to them and be like, yeah, I totally acknowledge you in our country. Like, let's help each other out.
yeah,
And that's also why M'Baku comes and helps them out in the very end.
Yep. And it was cool to see his demeanor change because he went from 100% warrior culture to actually having some actually assisting Wakanda with this time period where you didn't think that a warrior like him would give a shit about the subtleties of politics.
Right.
But he's actually starting to come around.
And he actually was like the perfect person for Shuri to lean on in
Yep.
that moment.
Exactly, especially 'cause
And
he
Baku's
promised
great.
T'Challa.
I'm happy he's at least king. He's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they portray that now that he's
Dude, him
how
with
it
his
changes
fucking
things.
carrot when he walked in.
Dude.
Yeah, I fucking love him. All
I
right.
love you. Yeah.
I mean,
I'd give it this like an 8 out of 10. I mean,
I'm at like a 7, I
Yep.
think. I kept trying to want to talk myself up, but it's just like I'm so torn on so many different things in this movie.
yeah.
Which I shouldn't be because I shouldn't go in the attitude of like, this isn't how I would have done it because that's not fair. But it's just like,
Well, right, it's easy to say.
I really just don't. Like I said, I'm torn on the whole fucking movie. It's like I don't think Shuri should be Black Panther, but in the context of the movie, they made it work for me to where it's like I at least believe it for this. Now, honestly, I hope that she gives up the mantle and gives it to somebody else. She's a scientist. She's not like I get it that she can fight and she has her little blaster things, but she's not like a warrior. Like
I don't know.
Just give it to Nakia.
Hopefully, with all this multiverse shit, they just BS some way for Killmonger to actually just be the Black Panther going forward.
I know we say it a lot, but like it truly is. Like you're like, why do you want that? Well, because multiverse, dude. It's
Well,
like,
because
it's like,
multiverse, I like Michael B. Jordan
And
as an
it's-
actor, and like it just would kind of make sense because
Yeah.
he is Wakanda and whatever.
I
Yeah.
like and like. How do you guys feel about the whole? Should they have recast T'Challa or not? Because this is another thing torn on. Because it's like you're kind of in a rock and a hard place.
Well, you know why I wouldn't mind it is because they recast the Hulk anyway. Forever ago. They
recast Thunderbolt Ross.
They recast okay, so that's actually a great point. You recast Thunderbolt Ross, so why couldn't you recast
Well,
Chadwick Boseman?
I think that the conditions
Or, I
around
mean,
why he's
Black
not there,
Panther.
we haven't had to really deal with that in too much of an active setting where you're still putting out movies. We've seen some of our favorite actors die. But to have him die at such a pivotal moment.
And let's
in
also be real,
the
like
flow.
that,
I mean,
that
Disney-
character and
Disney-
Boseman meant a lot to
Mhm.
a
That's
community,
true.
a lot. So
And-
it is a very special like to me, I thought they were gonna. Okay, I understand taking him. I respect the move of actually taking a movie and basically mourning the character and the actor basically all in one. I high respect for that. But that's why it's so weird to me that then at the very end, another thing I'm like split and torn on is like when the son with baby T'Challa, and I'm just like, you guys didn't need to do that.
I personally thought
you
that
guys
was
could have
so-
like
They
like if you guys wanted to bring T'Challa back later down the line, like just multiverse. That's all you needed.
Yeah, I thought I thought they overstepped.
Like-
I just thought it was too much. I think they're trying to do too much to try to.
I
honor
do
him,
know that
which
probably
okay.
another small reason Disney didn't care to recast is because I think they probably always had it in their plans to eventually get Shuri into the Black Panther role anyway. Because I mean, it does happen in the comics. She does take it from him, but I don't know.
I
Whatever.
just
It just
that's just my ultimate feeling on this movie. Is just I'm so torn whenever I go to think about it in certain decisions. I'm just like,
Well, when I look at the movie as a whole, like I gave it a 7. I'm right there with you. When I looked at the movie as a whole, I shouldn't have to. I mean, and anybody who's watching the movie shouldn't have to sit there and just be staring at it, especially a Marvel movie, and be waiting for something to happen for 3 hours, and it never really happens. Like
I will say I had that feeling.
yeah.
I mean, I was kind of the whole movie. I'm like,
Okay.
all right, what's the big thing that's gonna
Okay.
happen?
Yeah.
And then it does happen, but it doesn't feel like it really did.
No.
I mean, and I knew that you always knew too, because like Jay said, Namor's an anti-hero, and I knew that like, well, eventually this will just have some weird conflict resolution between the two of them. But yeah,
I felt
don't
like
know.
this movie was a side quest,
oof,
kinda.
Damn,
oof.
Like
damn.
like
Half the amount of experience. Damn.
I mean, well, okay. So when you're talking about your big battle, it wasn't. It just wasn't. I mean,
No, it
Black
wasn't.
Panther and Namor, she cooked him with a fucking ship thruster. Like, she cooked him up.
I do like how they took like the one piece of like Aquaman that's like the lamest thing about him. I don't think Namor has that weakness in the comics. I think that's from Aquaman. Like back in the day, Aquaman could only be out of water for like an hour or two or something like that.
Aquaman.
They literally took the lamest part about Aquaman and gave it to
we
Namor.
got you,
That's the
bro.
thing I didn't understand. I was just like, why?
Aquaman.
I mean, I respect in a way, but
Aquaman's sitting back and he's like, "Hey."
Didn't have any other. Yeah, the Leo meme.
Yeah. Oh.
That's mine. That used to be mine. Yeah, that. I mean,
because I don't think Namor had that weakness.
well, and what's funny too is like as I'm watching the movie, I'm sitting here like, yeah, he is kind of like this all-powerful being. How the hell do they get to a point where it's like a stand draw? Because there's no one that's around right now that can fight this guy. And then they put in this dehydration weakness, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that works.
I mean, they kind of explained it in a cool way. Like he's kind of like an amphibian, but he breathes through his skin or whatever. But I'm just surprised. I was like, really? This is the route?
Bro, it's like,
Okay.
Bro, it's like, dude, it feels like the fucking Hulk trying to, or like Hulk Hogan trying to teach kids how to work out. Like, you drink your water, otherwise you're gonna get your ass kicked. Drink your water, or you're gonna get your shit pushed in by Black Panther.
Stay hydrated.
Black Panther.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated. Drink your water, or this could be you.
Oh my god! All right.
Even the all powerful gods have to drink their water.
Well, I believe that's everything, right, guys?
I think that's it.
So, you guys maybe next week since Phase 4 is over, you guys want to do a section where we rank the Phase 4 movies? And
Ooh, yeah.
Sure.
you guys want to put a list for next week?
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's one Phase 4 movie that's amazing and one of the best Marvel movies, and people continue to like kind of not put it high on the list, and I'm like,
Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
You are fucking correct.
That movie does not. I don't think. I know that movie. That movie does get love, but I don't think it gets as much as it should. That movie's amazing.
That movie is not a side quest.
Right.
No.
No, it is not.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think that wraps up this week. So we'll get that list. So look forward to that next week. Oh shit, we don't have Andor next. No, fuck. What are we gonna review now, boys?
Well, we can talk about Grogu Ghibli again.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure out something, I guess, to
Figure
watch
something
and
out.
review. But yeah, let us know what you guys thought in the
maybe we
comments
can-
below.
I mean, we're pretty behind on it, but I mean, maybe we can just, I don't know. Titans is out.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Granted, it was late.
I
watched the
one.
first episode.
I haven't watched the newest one.
Was not a fan.
Oh no,
Really?
it doesn't. I can tell with this season. It's like, oh, I get why this got the axe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, yep. Thanks everybody for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit that like, hit that bell, comment below. If anything you guys would like us to talk about, please give us topic suggestions below. What are you doing? Oh, I thought you were doing this.
Just doing this. Now.
I was like, what are you doing?
Go dogs.
Jesus. No.
Yeah.
OH.
More like low tide.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, please. It's your boy Jsib. To my left, as always,
It's Kevin Crunch.
and to my right, as
Time.
always.
Double.
Oh yeah,
Baby.
podcast services as well. Check ya later.
Alright.
God, what a shitty outro that was.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever.